Affairs expert Tom Gross, who has a column that will be coming out very soon. And what was very notable about that Labour Party conference is how few British flags we saw and how many Palestinian flags we saw instead.
Yes, in fact, we saw no British flags in the conference hall yesterday. We didn't see any flags other than Palestinian flags. And we know now that those flags were paid for and given out by the Labour Party to its members, presumably with Corbyns' assent. And it was quite remarkable because this is not a foreign policy conference. There is not usually flag waving at British party conferences as there is, for example, at American conventions. And there were almost more flags there than one would see at the opening of the Palestinian parliament in Ramallah or Hamas rally in Gaza. So Corbyn has said today in the conference that he is not an anti-Semite and he wants to move on from the issue. But this absolute obsession with Palestine, whereas there's not one word mentioned in the conference about, for example, Syria or Yemen. There are many other oppressed peoples, whether it's the Chechens or Tibetans or Baluchis or Kurds, not one word. Whereas the obsession with Palestine doesn't seem to be primarily motivated by wanting to bring peace to the Middle East. Well,
let's go over Corbyn's greatest hits, because he was at a ceremony that commemorated the Palestinians who killed 11 Israelis at the 1972 Munich Olympic Games.
Yes.
That's the start. He's also met with the leaders of terrorist organizations. He's made the hand sign for the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood, for those who don't know, calls for the killing of all Jews. And finally, he's also made comments, references saying that Jews do not truly fit into British culture. And then we see this, and then we hear him say he's not an anti-Semite. But I'm sorry, the evidence doesn't stand in his favor.
Exactly so. And he had an opportunity today in his speech when he mentioned anti-Semitism and he also mentioned recognizing Palestine. He had an opportunity to apologize and move on. He could have said, those previous incidents are in the past and I'm sorry and let's move on. But he showed no contrition, for example, for putting that wreath of flowers down for the Munich massacre terrorists. I mean, you know, there is a Palestinian member of parliament in Britain, the first one for the centrist Liberal Democratic Party, Laila Moran, and she has distanced herself from Corbyn and his supporters, saying they are anti-Semites, they do not serve the Palestinian cause. So Corbyn may think he's serving the Palestinian cause or a two-state solution, but in fact he's muddying the waters and making it far more complicated and in essence promoting anti-Semitism, because any Jew in Britain who will not condemn Israel is then denounced as some kind of evil baby-murdering Zionist.
You know, we have the right to talk about anti-Semitism because we are here in Israel. It's not Corbyn's issue, sorry. But the big question today is, what did he say about Britain? Because it seems like there's so much that was absent in terms of what that country needs. I'm sorry to do this to you because we have a short time, but what are the chances that Corbyn could become prime minister? Does he have a platform for moving Britain forward?
Well, there's a good chance he'll become Prime Minister because the ruling Conservative parties are in a big mess and divided over Brexit. So there could be early elections and there is a chance he'll get in. Does he have a platform? He does. Will it move Britain forward? I doubt it. It's going to probably more resemble policies of the kind we've seen in Venezuela that have led to mass refugee movements out of Venezuela and economic disaster. So he does have a platform, but in other senses, he seems to be more interested in freeing Palestine than actually making British lives better.
All right, Tom Gross, thank you for that analysis, and I look